Today's podcast is brought to you by Anchor. And if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, let me tell you, it is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. I can't wait to hear what you create. Welcome to the Diabetic Toolbox, where we are helping midlife folks win the battle against pre-diabetes by helping them to lose weight naturally, heal their mindset, and strengthen their body using yoga and walking. Hosted by award-winning podcaster, certified diabetes lifestyle coach, and yoga teacher Renee Reed. At the Diabetic Toolbox, we are on a mission to reduce the number of amputations and the number of people who die each year due to complications associated with type 2 diabetes. If you are ready to heal, connect, and grow, you, my friend, are in the right place. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today we are talking about how you can manage your self-care even if you have a busy schedule. Now, to be clear, self-care is not just the latest buzz phrase in the wellness community. Research has shown that if you do not increase your level of self-care, you risk not being able to manage your physical, mental, or spiritual health. Self-care simply means taking better care of yourself, putting your needs first more often, and doing things that make you happy. So if you are at the bottom of your to-do list, then this episode is for you. These tips will work if you are pre-diabetic, type 2 diabetic, or have a history of diabetes in your family. Having a family history of diabetes does make you more susceptible to contracting the disease, but it is not a done deal. You can learn how to protect yourself against the disease, but you have to start now, and that is where increasing your self-care comes in. The first thing we're going to talk about is getting active. And getting active does not have to be overwhelming. Walking 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, will help you to lose weight and manage your diabetes. It is a powerful strategy also for helping you to manage your mental health. Because let's face it, being diagnosed with a chronic illness can take its toll. Walking either by yourself or with a friend will help you to boost those endorphins and lift your mood. And if you're not able to do 30 minutes all at once, you can certainly break up your 30 minutes into 2 15-minute increments or 3 10-minute increments. Your goal is to get the 150 minutes of moderate cardio activity recommended by the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, and the CDC. So, whatever your schedule allows, make it happen. The next thing you want to do is to make sure that you are eating healthy. With so much going on in the world today, our stress levels are through the roof. And if you are like me, nothing makes everything better than a bar of chocolate. And that's fine in moderation, but I have been known to devour a family-sized bag of M&Ms, which is not good if you are trying to manage your blood sugar. But we all know that emotional eating is a real thing that happens to a lot of us. And you can manage it by planning and preparing your meals each day. So take a little bit of time, either on your lunch break or right before you go to bed, to write out your menu for the week. And then during the week, prepare the foods you love. You are less likely to grab a bag of chips if you have already prepared your food for the day. Number 3, take your medication. I cannot tell you how many people I speak with who tell me that they are not taking their medication as prescribed. And it might be because the side effects are too much for them to handle, or they have started to feel better and they think they don't need it. Listen, before you stop taking your medication, please speak with your doctor. Talk to your medical team about the side effects. Ask them how long you are expected to take the drug, or inquire if the dosage can be adjusted. Do not doctor on yourself. Now, this next one sounds pretty simple. Wash your hands. Now, our moms were sticklers when it came to hand washing. And the one thing that this pandemic has taught us is that this simple little tool can help protect us from receiving or spreading germs. So use soap, warm water, and sing the happy birthday song twice for the best results. The next thing that I really want you guys to focus on, if you are not doing it already, is to begin to connect with a community. Isolating yourself is the worst thing you can do when managing a chronic illness. You may feel like no one understands what you're going through, and maybe you're right, but it is important to find like-minded individuals so that you can swap stories, plan workout dates, and just have someone to talk to through the tough times. If there is no group in your area, then create one. The group does not have to focus on diabetes or whatever your chronic illness is. You can schedule activities around the things you love to do, like music, bike riding, reading books. Having a regular meeting with a group of folks who are there to support you and love you is so important, not only for your physical self-care, but also for your emotional self-care. And the last tip I have for you guys is to create an emergency kit. Now, I started doing this when I was pregnant with my first child. Back then, I was sure that my baby and I would starve if we were ever stuck in traffic. I know that sounds crazy, but my emergency kit saved me many a times from overeating or reaching for the wrong thing when I was pregnant, but also when I was diagnosed with prediabetes. If you are in any field that requires you to be in your car for, most of your day, like my job did, I was working in social services and doing home visits. And so 90% of my day was spent in my car. So if I did not prepare this emergency kit, then I was driving through a drive-through for a large fry and a Diet Coke. Every now and then that might be okay, but not at the regularity that I was doing it. So prepare your emergency kit. This kit is great, if you're stuck in traffic, if you're not able to sit down and eat a healthy meal. It's also good if you are feeling sick. You want to fill your kit with some soup. That's my go-to when the hunger pains hit. You can add some tea, sugar-free candy, bottles of water, and if you are diabetic, make sure that you have your supplies on hand, including a meter and some testing strips. You can make this emergency kit yours, and it can be something that you just discreetly carry with you each day so that you are not running to the vending machine at the 2 p.m. hour when your stomach starts to talk back to you, or when you get a little bit overwhelmed or a little stressed out. You will have something that you can reach for and eat that is healthy and good for you and won't sabotage your wellness journey. Self-care, even if you have a busy schedule, is something that you cannot put on the back burner. Your health cannot wait for you to make yourself and it a priority. So when you are working those deadlines, community events, and family obligations, remember that all of that will be pushed to the wayside if you are laid up because you are not effectively managing your health. Listen, I know that you have probably spent your whole life putting others first. Isn't it time to remember that you're important, that you matter? My answer is yes. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. Please share this episode with someone you love. And don't forget to follow the podcast. I do want to thank you guys so much for your continued support. We can now be heard on just about every platform that you listen to podcasts. We're on Spotify, Apple, and Anchor. So thank you so much. Diabetes is running rampant in the U.S. and around the world. So share this episode with someone you love. 88 million people and counting in the United States have been diagnosed with prediabetes. The one way to combat this disease is to get this information out to them and to help them to understand that their self-care has to be a number one priority. So until next time, guys, remember, you are stronger than you give yourself credit and more blessed than you know. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Click the link in the show notes to follow the podcast and blog so you don't miss an episode or post. If you would like to support the work we're doing, you can donate by clicking the link below. Your contributions help us to continue providing free, virtual, and in-person yoga and diabetes prevention classes in our communities. Thank you so much for your support. Let's continue this conversation on Instagram. You can find me at the Diabetic Toolbox. I love hearing from you guys. And do me a favor, share this episode with someone you love. There are 88 million people in the U.S. alone diagnosed with prediabetes. Let's help them out. I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day.